Dum-dum, Beedle-dum-dum, Beedle-dum-dum, Beedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing.
Before it's Americanized, right? No KFCs, no McDonald's.
No doubt.
On every corner. I mean, I love the idea. It was the pearl of the Caribbean. You know, it was I still remember the pictures, you know, of the beautiful homes that are in decay, and that's exactly what it is. Well, they wouldn't let me take pictures, but there's not much there. But what I did have as a gift, I gave them a DVD that had a lot of the original YouTube photographs that we shot.
That's awesome.
And I gave it to them as a gift. So, you know, it was like, but one thing you're going to really be in for is that when you read, I love their underground bunker, right? And I'm going through it because it's a museum now. And you're looking at a lot of the information, and it's just flat wrong. Okay? There's no other way to put it. But, you know, it's what they believe. Okay? But I can only tell you that's not the way it happens. So it's like...
What did they have, like propaganda that...
Oh, yeah. It's all, you know, we didn't do this, and the Soviets were about to go along with us, and we would have nuked America had it not been for Kennedy, you know, conceding, and it's just the reverse of what happened, right?
Yeah.
You know,
that's what happened.
In your head going, wow, that's the first time I heard that one.
It's still happening.
Oh, yeah. So I don't, you know, I mean, I don't know on all that side. But, I mean, was it worth it? I can't wait to go back. I want to walk the battlefield where Teddy Roosevelt, you know, for Spanish-American War. I mean, I was hoping to do that this year, but I don't think it's maybe next year or the year after. But,
yeah, you had to go through a lot of stuff to get out of the country now, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, no offense, but I fly out of Mexico. So I fly out of Mexico City, and the one thing the Cubans do, Bryce, just to let you know, I mean, I was treated first rate.
Cool.
The visa is stapled to your American passport.
Awesome.
And when you leave Cuba, they rip the visa out, so nobody knows where you've been.
That's pretty good.
I liked it. I mean, they treated me with carte blanche.
Hospitality.
Yeah, exactly. I really enjoyed it. So, in all fairness to the Cuban people, but they don't have a choice. See, I mean, it's all well and good. You know, well, you guys need to rise up and take your country back. They can't even find weapons.
Nah.
I mean, this is how are they going to do that? I don't know. I feel for the whole situation, but, you know. And after 60 years, geez, you know, I just don't see it working. I guess maybe there needs to be a different frame, a different, you know, idea here, but
I don't know.
What's that?
It's
That
like,
60 years doesn't really work.
It's almost like that could never happen just by proxy. I don't know.
Well, I'm with you there. I just don't see how they could have another revolution. They've made it quite impossible for that to occur. Therefore, okay.
They're doing
So, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Air and space technology, and you know, I mean, there you're seeing the Titan I inside the SLTF site. I mean, it's gorgeous. There's nothing ever beat that.
What, the one where it says blasting out from the bowels of the earth? The Titan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you had the Titan I that was done by, it was a greenish color, and it was a two-page photograph, I forget in what magazine, and I had it taken and professionally joined together by guys that really know graphic design.
Uh-huh.
And it just came out fabulous. Because you see, we don't get to see that many true interior. I mean, go try to find Atlas. How many real Atlas F silo photographs, level 5 and level 6, do you get to see? There's not that many pictures.
No.
Okay? I mean, I'm hoping that changes with what's at the National Archives. But, you know, we're going to find out. Or San Diego Air and Space. But see, they changed. I mean, it's the greed factor now is what I call it.
Why
All of them
greed?
want big money.
What? Oh, yeah. For copyrighting and usage and all that?
Oh, sure. And it's like, look, I just want to share it with everybody to see it. Because I tell you, 25 years ago, I worked with San Diego Air and Space because a friend of mine was a volunteer there that had enough authority he could take home some of the negatives and he could reprint them, and then he would send them to me for digitizing.
Right.
And I mean, they're fabulous. But they were also taken, you know, and of course when GDA pulls out, they give the entire collection to the San Diego Air and Space Museum.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you know, there's like, the way I understand it, there's close to 400,000, maybe more, big full format negatives.
Damn.
They don't have indexes. They don't even know what they're looking at, Bryce. That's how sad this is, because the bulk of these guys that really did know the system are gone. So you're then going to, you know, it's then going to become this, you know, if we can't start going through some of this stuff, how is anybody ever going to enjoy it? But here's my biggest point. If you were to go to the Kennedy Space Center today, all right, they're not going to talk about the ICBM. They're not going to talk about the Atlas D, Zs, and Fs, and they're not going to talk about Titan 1 and Titan 2. Even though they launched all of the Mercury and they launched all of the Gemini.
Rockets.
Right there. Exactly, which was nothing more than a Titan 2.
Yeah.
Okay, for Gemini. And an Atlas, right, for the latter part of the Mercury program. I mean, they're not going to talk about it. Phil Moore is working there. He invites me and my family out. This is 2001. And we go out and stay with him. And Phil and I and everybody, we go to the Kennedy Space Center, and I'm walking around with Phil. I lean over to Phil, and I go, Phil, where's the ICBM stuff, man? And he just laughs. You know, they don't want to show it. I don't know if they're afraid that we got to space on the back of a missile system, but it's how we did it.
Well, it's like a rocket is a more euphemistic way to say intercontinental.
Well, I mean, look, the Army calls them rockets.
Well,
okay,
that's
if you
true.
were to go, if you were to go to Huntsville and go to the Space and Rocket Museum, at the Marshall Space Flight Center, it's Redstone Arsenal. Okay,
Right.
It's Army.
Yeah.
It's the Army Ballistic Missile Agency.
Yeah. Redstone.
It's
Yeah.
all rocket. So it's like,
Well, Russia was strategic rocket forces.
so I mean, I just, you know, I had this very large. It was the first Atlas D, launched by an operational U.S. Air Force crew from Vandenberg, September 9th, 1959, sits behind me when I'm doing this presentation.
Uh-huh.
And I pointed out, it's got the heat sink and it's got the warhead. Okay? Now, I explained to them, I said, this is the same Atlas D that put John Glenn into orbit in February of 1962. Okay? So, don't get it in your head. We got to space on the back of an ICBM. It's just that simple. And a lot of them didn't know it.
Well, I don't see